Hello friends, hope you are doing well. Welcome to the channel ML for Analytics and welcome to this playlist DAX OTC. So friends, in this video we are going to discuss about the row context and the relationships. So remember, in our previous videos we have discussed that how row context behaves in this when used in the same table, or how it behaves when we are doing the calculated column in the same table. Now in this video we are going to cover that whenever there are multiple relationships between different tables, like there are more than one table and we follow a series of relationships of one to many or many to one. So how the row context behaves when we are dealing with multiple tables. So let's get started. So friends, I have switched to my Power BI desktop now, and as you can see on my screen that I have created 3 table visuals for the demo, and we will be covering all these visuals in the demo. Now before I start the demo, I just want to mention that in this particular demo we have used the commands related and related table. So if you have not seen our video on related and related table, I request you to please see that video before continuing in this particular video. Now let's begin with our demo. So in this case, as I mentioned in the starting, that we would be discussing about the row context and how the row context can be propagated from one table to another. Till now we have seen the use case where row context is being used in the same table. Now how to propagate the row context to the other table which is directly connected to one table, or using multiple hops. So we'll see in this particular demo. So let me start. So in this demo we'll be using mainly the calculated columns in order to demonstrate the behavior of row context when propagated through various relationships. So let us start with the simple use case in which I have created a calculated column on fact internet sales table. So let me switch to fact internet sales table and I will select this particular column. This is a calculated column which I have created. So as you can see on your screens, the code for this particular calculated column, price difference, and it is calculating the difference by taking the subtraction of unit price from the fact internet sales tables itself, and the other column is coming from the dim product table. Now friends, as you can see that I have kept the related function on top of the list price coming from the dim product table, otherwise I cannot access it. So this is one way of accessing or propagating the row context to the other table. Now as you know that there is a one-to-many relationship between dim product table and fact internet sales table. So in order to access the values from the many side to the one side, I have to use the related function. We have seen this in the related table and related table function demo also. So if you just remove this related table function, it will not allow you to access the column from the other table. It will give an error that it cannot find this particular column. So as you know that since we are creating a calculated column, there is an implicit row context which gets created by the calculated column, and in this row context, in order to access the value from other table, we have to use related function so as to propagate the row context to the other table. So as you can see the error, so let me switch back to the previous code. I have to place the related function on top of this particular column in order to calculate the correct price difference. So as you can see, in order to see the values also, if we switch back to the data view and if I just select the fact internet sales table, let me just select that and let me just go to the end. So you can see this particular column. Now we have the values here for this particular calculated column. Now let's continue with our demo and let's switch to these tables which I have created, and let's see the first table now. Now first table we'll see the demo in which there are two tables, that is mainly the dim product table and the fact internet sales table, and now here we will use the related table command. So we have seen the use case of related. Now we will be creating a calculated column on the many side and we will be fetching the values from the one side. Okay, so let me first show you the calculated column which I have created. So let me switch to the dim product table now. So in the dim product table you can see that there is a column called sales count. So I have created this column, calculated column. You can see the code of this column, that I am using the related table function in order to fetch the rows which are on the many side, that is the fact internet sales table, since I am creating this column on the one side, that is dim product table. So in order to fetch that from the many side, I have to use related table. and then I am counting the rows, because related table will give me the rows in a table format. So I have to perform some aggregation operation in order to get the singular number, or you can say scalar value. So I have used the count rows. I am actually counting the number of sales done against a particular product. Okay, so in this way we'll get the count of the sales for each product. So in this table now, as you can see that I have kept these two columns. If I just expand the visualizations pane, you can see that in this table we have English product name and the sales count. Also in the data view, if I just switch to the data view and if I go to the dim product table, you can also see the same column in the data view also. Let me just scroll to the last and you can see the sales count column. Okay, so the same code and these are the sales. So you can also see the blank values for the sales count. Actually there has been no sale for this particular product in this dim product table. That's why we are seeing the blank values. Okay, so now this is one scenario in which the dim product table is directly related to the fact internet sales table. Now let's define a scenario in which there are multiple hops. For example, let me switch to the relationship view now. So let me just zoom it a little bit so that you can see the table clearly. Now this is the fact internet sales table. Now let me just show you the relationship. So let me just switch this relationship to the single direction. Okay, we'll do that later. I'll tell you why I kept this relationship as a bidirectional relationship. So for the time being, I'm switching back to the one-to-many single relationship. Now as you can see that the dim product table is having a one-to-many relationship to the fact internet sales, and the direction of the relationship is in this direction, from dim product to fact internet sales. Now we can also see that there is a table called dim product subcategory which has a one-to-many relationship with the dim product table, and then we have the dim product category table. So now the scenario is that we have to see what is the sales count or the sales amount for each product category, and the sales amount is in fact internet sales table. So we have to take 3 hops, right, from this to this, this to this, and then from dim product to fact internet sales table, right? So let's see how it is happening. So I have created a calculated column in dim product category table. So let me just switch to dim product category table. Now you can see this sales amount calculated column. Let me just show you the code. Now on your screen you can see the DAX code for this particular calculated column. So what I have done here is I have used the related table function because we are fetching the rows from the many side to the one side, and you can see that we have used the SUMX function to calculate the sales amount. So inside the SUMX function, the first argument is the table name or the table, or we can use the table expression also. So this is a table expression which returns the table. So we are using related table in order to fetch the rows for each product category, and then we are doing the operation to calculate the as a second argument to calculate the sales amount. And in this way the SUMX function is returning us the sales amount for each product category. Similarly, I have created one more calculated column which shows us the product count. Now suppose if I want to find out the number of products for each product category, how many products belong to each product category. So this is the way you know that the dim product table also has one-to-many relationship with dim product category, and dim product category has the relationship with the dim product category table. So in this way we can also find the count of the product. So again dim product is on the many side for the dim product category table, so we are using the related table function and we are counting the number of rows or the number of products which belong to this category. So in the second visual, now table 2 on your screen, we can see that I have kept the dim product category in this visual, the second visual, and the sales amount and then the product count. So these two calculated columns which I have created, I have included along with the product category. So now you can see that we get the number, the sales amount, the product count for each product category. Okay, so in this way we can propagate the row context from one table to multiple hops, to not only the direct table but also other tables which are indirectly connected but having the relationship in the same direction. So the one point to note here is that the relationships are in same direction, like from DIM product category to DIM product subcategory, from DIM product subcategory to DIM product, and DIM product to fact internet sales. All relationships are flowing in the same direction. That's why we are able to fetch the value from other table, indirect tables also in one table. Okay, so this is using multiple hops. Now let me come to the third scenario. Let me first define the scenario. So if we switch to the relationship view now again, so there is one table called DIM customer. Okay, so this is the DIM customer table, and you can see it is having a one-to-many relationship with the fact internet sales table. So if you just scroll up a little, you will see this is a fact internet sales table, and we have also seen that DIM product table is having a one-to-many relationship with the fact internet sales table. So this relationship is in this direction, and DIM customer is in, so both the relationships are in opposite direction. Now the use case is, suppose I want to find that what are the number of products bought by each customer. Okay, so how can I find this? So what I will do is, I have created a calculated column in the DIM customer table. Let me just show you that calculated column first. So if I go to the DIM customer table, and if I just open this calculated column, you can see the DAX code. It's a simple code. I'm using the related table function, and I'm trying to fetch the rows from the DIM product table and count the number of rows for each customer, right? Now let's see what happens. As you can see on the visual, I have kept all these columns, first name, last name, and this particular column which we have created, the count of product. So it's the same code. So I have included this particular calculated column in this particular visual. So we have two columns which are already in the DIM customer table, and one the calculated column which we have just created. So you can see all the numbers are same, right? Why it is happening so? So let me just tell you why it happened. Because both the relationships are not in the same direction. So for related table, in order to propagate the row context from one table to another, even directly or in indirect tables, the relationship have to be in the same direction. Now in this case, what is happening is both the relationships are in opposite direction. As you can see, both the relationships are in opposite direction. So that's why it is not able to propagate the row context from DIM customer table to DIM product table. It is reaching to fact internet sales table, but from fact internet sales table, it is not reaching to the DIM product table. That's why we are seeing all the same numbers, and we are not able to see the actual numbers, right? Now how to fix this? How to fix this? What we can do is, we can make this relationship from DIM product to fact internet sales as a bidirectional relationship. Okay, so let me make this bidirectional, and let's see then what happens. Okay, so now you can see that the relationship is bidirectional, and now the related table function can propagate the row context. Now we have this relationship in this direction, and again it can flow in the same direction to DIM product table also. Now let's see, and you can see now that the number has changed, and we have got the correct numbers. Like for each customer, we are getting the count of product purchased, like how many products he purchased. Okay, and this is the unique value. So in this way, you can propagate the row context from one table to another when multiple hops. So all the relationships should be in the same direction. Okay, so then only the related table function can perform its function. So with this, we come to the conclusion of this demo. Now let's see some important points related to this particular behavior, or whatever we have discussed. There are few important points which need to be remembered or considered when using this kind of relationships, or when using related or related table. So let's see those important points. Let me switch to the important points. Okay, now as you can see on your screen, the first point is both commands are used inside the row context. So friends, this is the very important point, that related or related table function can only be used inside a row context. Now in this case, whatever use cases we have discussed here, we were using a calculated column, and we have already discussed that there is an implicit row context when we create a calculated column. And using DAX code, when you are writing a measure, you can create the row context using the iterator functions, that is sum x, max x, average x. So So all the iterator functions, they create a row context. So but these functions can only be used inside a row context. Whether if you are using in a measure, then you have to use it inside the iterator function, or otherwise in a calculated column which has an implicit row context. Point number 2, when you want to propagate the row context from many side to one side, use related. We have already discussed this, that if we want to propagate the relationship, or if we want to fetch the values from the one side to many side, we have to use related function. Third point, when you want to propagate the row context from one side to many side, use related table. Again, we have seen this. Fourth point, both commands can pass through multiple relationships, multiple hops in a relationship. And in the table 2, the demo 2, we have seen already this behavior. Then how we can use this function to propagate the row context to multiple hops. Fourth point, if you have one-to-one relationship, then both commands work in both scenarios, as one-to-one acts as one-to-many and many-to-one at the same time. So friends, what do we mean by this? Actually, if you are having a one-to-one relationship between two tables, what would happen is, for each row in the table A, you would be having a corresponding only one row in the table B. So actually, it's a one-to-one relationship. You can think of it as one-to-many or many-to-one, but the behavior would be the same in both the cases. So that's why in this case you can use related or related table, they would behave the same way. Okay, now let us come to the important points which are related to the chain of relationships, means when you are using multiple hops. So the first point is, all relationships should be of the same type, one-to-many or many-to-one. I have already discussed this while in the demo, that the relationships need to be in the same direction and same kind of relationships. Okay, either it is one-to-many or many-to-one. Second point is that if you have three tables, the first table having one-to-many relationship with second, and then second table has many-to-one relationship with third, then neither the related nor related table command works as filter propagates in a single direction, opposite directions. So in the demo 3, we actually saw this, that from dim customer table to fact internet sales table, and then we had the dim product table. So automatically the related table was not able to propagate the row context because both the relationships were in the opposite direction. So in order to make that work, we had to create a bidirectional relationship, so that one relationship exists in the same direction. Okay, so this is what this point is telling us, that all the relationships should be in the same direction. Okay, otherwise if they are in the opposite direction, the behavior will not work as expected. Coming to the third point, only related table works using bidirectional filter propagation. Related table cannot propagate the relationships if they are not going in the same direction. Again, the same point, that when using bidirectional relationships, you can use the related table command only, not the related command, because obviously you would be passing on to the many side, and also related table will not propagate if they are not in the same direction. This we have already seen. So friends, with this we come to the end of this video. If you have any questions related to related table or the behavior of the row context in this particular demo, you can please post your questions on the comment section and I will answer your questions. And please also provide your feedback how you like this video, and please do subscribe to our channel for the latest videos on Power BI, DAX and business intelligence. See you in another video. Take care and goodbye.